Yes, everybody. Russ from the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. Happy lunchtime. Did a little roundup this morning, but we've got a quick lunchtime headlines for you. 3 stories, all players have been linked to. Let's start with the top one. Everyone's lips at the moment is the 21-year-old Southampton midfielder Matheus Fernandes. Now, according to reports yesterday, West Ham were planning to make a bid, and they have made a bid. I don't know why you would. Personally, I have a feeling why we said we were going to be making a bid before we've actually made a bid. It's to maybe get others to make a bid before our bid, and then we tried. Let's be believe that Atletico Madrid are also interested and could well be our biggest rival in that. But according to 𝗟𝗨𝗡𝗖𝗛𝗧𝗜𝗠𝗡 employee, he says from his senior source that the bid has gone in, and no, it couldn't disclose the details of the deal. But negotiations are hard and our valuations are very distant. Something that's been said about his deal for a while, and I think it's going to drag out with the usual tactics of exploring alternative targets. Unfortunately, it worked well with Mads Hermansen in terms of, so it's a tactic which people are going to allude to all the time. However, we were really the only guys in town for Mads. There's at least a dozen clubs in for Fernandes. It's not going to fly, that tactic. So, yeah, I think we've already doomed to not get this one over the line personally, but we'll wait and see. As I said, we are exploring alternatives, and we know a number of the, like Jacob Ramsey and stuff like that. A new name to add to the list is the former Wolves and Portuguese international midfielder Ruben Neves, who's currently plying his trade at 𝗟𝗨𝗡𝗖𝗛𝗧𝗏. They played in the Club World Cup, but according to reports, West Ham are exploring options to potentially bring in Neves in the summer. He's been capped 58 times by Portugal and is obviously currently plying his trade in the Saudi Pro League. A season-long loan in East London is something seen as the most likely option, with the club, West Ham, unwilling to consider investing so much in a player who's, he's 28 now, so really is his best years ahead of, behind him, really, in all honesty. And he only moved from Wolves to 𝗟𝗨𝗡𝗖𝗛𝗏 for about £47 million back in last year. So for me, this one, a season-long loan, I don't think it's bad in terms of giving us. It's not obviously the blueprint, what we're trying to do, the MO, bring in younger players, but I think someone who can come in very similar to sort of a Douglas Luiz type role in terms of just could start next week. The only slight fly in the ointment being the fact is he's had a season at the Saudi Pro League. How is his fitness to what he needs to get back into fitness? You know, for Wolves, he was always a really good player I really enjoyed watching. And I think he could come in and complement what we have now on a season-long loan, maybe with an option to buy, but a minimum number. A definite upgrade to what we have, I think, in terms of that midfield, in terms of the Deadwood midfield bit, in terms of, Rodriguez, JWP, Souček. I think Ruben Neves is a better player technically as well, and would potentially suit a Potter system. Sort of more of a ball-playing midfielder as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But it's not just one Premier League or ex-Premier League player. It'll be linked to another current Premier League player, but this one's a bit in the forward line, as reports suggest West Ham, and these reports coming out of Italy, have renewed and reignited our interest in the Fulham 24-year-old striker, Rodrigo Muniz. Now, he's apparently high up on Atalanta's wish list this transfer window, but the reports coming out of Italy suggest that West Ham are competing for the player's signature. We've been previously linked with him, definitely in January, definitely the previous summer as well under 𝗟𝗨𝗡𝗖𝗛𝗏. Although for me, it's a bit of a total non-starter. A fee of around 40 million is being touted as the necessary figure required to persuade Fulham to part with their 6'1" striker. He scored 8 goals in 31 appearances last season. For me, that's not enough to warrant that type of price tag, in all honesty. He's a good player, he's a very technical player when he plays, but he doesn't play enough for me. Why is that not? Why isn't he a starter all the time at Fulham? Yes, they have Raul Jimenez and players like that, but for me, he's not. If he was a starter for Fulham last season, and regularly in the double figures of goals, then I think you could suggest 35 to 40 million as a decent number for being a 24-year-old, but he doesn't play enough football for me, and there's a reason why. Why isn't he? If he's that good, if he's got that price tag, why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he regularly getting minutes? So for me, bit of a non-starter. And as I said, 5 minutes, that's all you need. Short, concise, to the point. Doesn't sound like me, does it? Apart from the short bit. the rest is there. If you like what we do, don't forget to give it a like, comment, share. We're back a little bit later on with your Hammers headlines for the afternoon. Till that time, take care, my friends. See you soon. Much love.